negotiation and peace discussion. Very briefly, I just want to tell you about these two events. The first of these events is reproduced here on this picture you can see on the wall. And this is the signature in 1864 of the first 10 articles of the law of war, known today as the Geneva Conventions. As you could see from the picture, there are 16 delegates represented, and as I said, 10 articles. I think now in the convention, Geneva Convention, you have like something nearly 200 articles. And also you can see that the environment is very similar than the one we can see around us today.
But there were no women at that time. In the room, there were some outside of the window, but not in the room. It changed, as we can see today.
The second historical event is in 1872, over a boat called the Alabama boat, of which you have a replica over there. This boat was built on British shipyard and used by Southern state forces during the Secession War in United States back in 1862. After the end of the hostilities in between the South and the northern states of United States were victorious, and they asked Great Britain to pay quite a big amount of money for all the damages caused by this boat built on British shipyard. Great Britain refused to enter into discussion because they said this was not built by the state but built by a private enterprise. The situation of tension in between United States and Great Britain was growing. The two parties finally fell agreed on the fact that they would agree an arbitration. After a meeting in this room, and this arbitration was given, so 3 judges took place there. 2 parties take place on one side and on the other side, and then the 3 judges gave the arbitration, and the result was that Great Britain had to pay $12.5 million to United States. Very important because this is known as the first peace international arbitration, and once again this was done in this room. Having said this, I hope this historical event will bring positive manner on the engagement you are about to take today, and it's my privilege to now leave the floor to Madame Anya Biden-Gelba, Chancellor of the Republican Canton of Geneva.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dear Mrs. President of Geneva Co., dear representatives of Komola, the Kurdistan Organization of Communist Party of Iran, dear representatives of the Komola Party of Iranian Kurdistan, dear representatives of the Democratic Party of Iranian Kurdistan, dear representatives of the Komola Party of Kurdistan, dear representatives of the Kurdistan Democratic Party Iran, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen. I have the privilege and the honor to open the signing ceremony of Geneva Co's Deed of Commitment. The government of the Republic and Canton of Geneva fully and actively supports the efforts of Geneva Co to seek the adherence to a protection of children from the effects of armed conflict and for the prohibition of sexual violence in situations of armed conflict and towards the elimination of gender discrimination. The government provides the venue in this very famous Alabama Hall, as the Chief of Protocol just presented very briefly to you, in which international negotiations have taken place and many high personalities have come. As the Chancellor of State of Geneva, I represent the government of the Republic and Canton of Geneva in its role of witness of the signed deeds. To this end, along with the President of Geneva Co, I will sign the deeds. By signing these instruments, groups represented here will join the first two non-state actors from Myanmar, which have pledged to protect children from the effects of armed conflicts a couple of weeks ago, and will be the first to pledge to prohibit sexual violence in situations of armed conflicts and eliminate gender discrimination. The Government of the Republic of Canton of Geneva is delighted to witness these humanitarian engagements. I now leave the floor to Mrs. President of Geneva Co. Mrs. President, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Chancellor. I would like to welcome all of you. I don't want to do the same list. She did very well, the protocol, so I will not repeat and just say dear all. And usually we finish with some thank you. I will start because I know Mrs. Majwa has to leave very soon. So I would like to start with the thank you. I would like to thank the Chancellerie d'État of the Canton of Geneva because it's very important the role they play. And as Mrs. Whedon said, she's representing the government of Geneva. Yesterday you could see the parliament. They applaud to you in the room. So I think we have to thank the Canton of Geneva also for funding our activities as well as the city of Geneva. And I would like also to thank Mrs. France Majwa-Leloup, who supports Geneva Call, and she was with us. She met several of your military leaders in northern Iraq last year. She went with us in the mountains and also with Natasha, and so it was good for her to visit what she is helping us to do with you. Thank you, France. It's a pleasure to have all of you and to see you will take a common agreement to protect children and to protect women and to give more rights to women and children. As I said, we used to meet your military representative in the north of Iraq, and today you are here as deciders and as representing your parties to sign this engagement, and I think this is a very important humanitarian decision. As it was said, it is in a humanitarian room with a spirit of humanitarian, so it's very important, and we are very pleased to have all of you here after 2 years of negotiation with you. On the question of protection of women and against sexual violence and to have less discrimination, you will be the first groups to sign this deed of commitment. So you will be the 5 first groups to sign this deed of commitment. And we are sure that the fact you take this decision for your own party, for your military people, it will also have an impact on the whole society and decrease violence, domestic violence, because you will say, no, it doesn't exist. It exists everywhere, unfortunately. And we are sure that your decision also will have an impact on perhaps more private behavior. It is also the first time we have already 44 deeds of commitment signed. It will be the first time today that women will sign the deed of commitment, meaning on some of these documents you will have 3 women, 3 signatures of women, Mrs. Whedon-Yelpa, one of you, and myself as President of Geneva, meaning you have to be careful, Mr. You are losing the power. So, it's important because this is the first time that we have women signing the deeds of commitment, which is also very impressive, and we are very happy to see this. On the question of children, you have also decided to protect the children under your responsibility. You know this is the future of your country, and peace and democracy will be built only with the young generation. So you have decided to protect them, to give them education, and perhaps to involve less in military aspects. And I think it's also a very important and good decision for the future. You will be also an example for others, maybe in Asia, maybe in Africa, so I think it's also important to have all of you taking this decision. You will leave soon, but we know we will not forget this ceremony in this important room with the present, as it was said, of the representative of the government of Geneva. You have decided to take engagement towards humanitarian norms, towards respect of human rights, and as I said, it is the preliminary, and it is very important for peace and democracy. So I now leave the floor to your representative. I think we are also very interested in listening to you. And again, congratulations for your decision, and thank you for taking this decision.